They have a very serious problem with pedo shit. There's no other way of saying it, right?
Well, yeah, friends of the playground,
Yeah.
fans of
So
the playground. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, for those that don't know, last year there was a sting of over 108 people in a child trafficking situation, right? Pretty brutal stuff. And there's been stuff before that as well. Now, listen, I'm not an idiot. I'm aware, ladies and gentlemen, that it's pretty common sense that individuals who have a propensity to degenerate child illicit liking stuff, however you want to phrase it, would try to work their way into and infiltrate areas where they can access children. That isn't rocket science. But holy motherfucking Christ, does Disney have a sincere problem with it? And their vetting process is very clearly non existent because you don't hear this about Universal. You don't hear this about any other Warner Brothers, like they have their own world. You don't hear this about any other place. Not on this scale. So Disney's vetting process is non-existent, surely, because according to ABC affiliate WPDE News, regarding the possible possession of child prawn at a Florida residence, it resulted in the arrest of an employee of Walt Disney World last Saturday. Detectives in Hernando County, north of Tampa, received a tip and identified the culprit as Michael David Foster. This is the disgusting, degenerate cunt. Foster, 47, was previously a correctional officer in Citrus County to the north, and as of Wednesday was working at Walt Disney World as an overnight mechanic. According to a Disney whistleblower, Bleed and Full reported on last year, the Walt Disney Company has never publicly acknowledged or internally dealt with hundreds of their employees that have been caught in child trafficking operations in recent years. This isn't a conspiracy theory. There's literally been child trafficking stings at Disney. It's crazy. So it'd be nearly impossible for Disney cast members to do anything with the child on property given the alleged high surveillance, which, good, thank God. So this is what the whistleblower says to Bleeding Full. We are watched constantly. We have cameras everywhere on us. You can't walk away with a child, so that would be pretty much an impossibility. But what people do on their off time, that's kind of scary, and it's not discussed. I would bet dollars to donuts that the leadership team never even spoke to the rest of the team about why that cast member is no longer with the company. 4 Disney workers were among 108 people arrested in a massive child sting operation in Polk County, Florida, in March 22nd. In March 22, adding fuel to the already worldwide media firestorm over perceptions that the company supports child grooming. Several operations were arrested. Several others, were arrested in a sting in previous years. So they've recovered 32 images of child prawn. It's absolutely disgusting. Now, subsequent to this, I also have a source that has reached out to me from the Paris side of Disney as well. And it just goes to show that their situation across the pond is equally as bad. So, just as an FYI, this individual wanted to let someone know who's speaking about this particular subject. They're a Disney employee, Disneyland Paris. They are of relative state, class, whatever you want to say it, within the company. And there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes there. Now, they would say it's it's odd, comparable in terms of the disgustingness, not as horrific, but still pretty disgusting and disturbing behavior. This is Disneyland Paris, they recently fired a 50-year-old man from the costume department who was creeping and even touching girls who are between 18 and 25. Obviously not illegal, still pretty bloody gross and a fireable offence, but you don't hear about it. Even the management behaves in less colourful ways, pervert on girls. And then there were people having intercourse in the break room as well. So just general degenerate behaviour. So they all but confirmed that there is absolutely no vetting process quite frankly. And this is someone that works for Disneyland Paris. So, thoughts on Disney degenerate behavior? And obviously, I'm not trying to make light of any of this. I hope I've thrown out enough language for you all to realize I think this is absolutely disgusting. I said in my video that I released today, I would hope this, if I ruled the world, if I was fascist dictator, this individual's organs, sex organs, would be mutilated. He would be chemically castrated. And then for males, I would have them all put on incredibly high doses of estrogen to absolutely destroy any sex drive they could possibly ever have, ever again.
Yeah.
That's what I would do personally. So I think this stuff is utterly disgusting.
I always
Put
love
over to you.
I always love
go.
when these people get. Oh, go ahead, Culture.
No, go ahead, Nick. You're on it. Go.
I was just going to say, I always love when these people get caught because I know what's coming for them once they get into prison. These people are dealt with very seriously in prison. A lot of them don't make it their whole term. If they do, they either can't walk again by the time they finish, or something else is messed up with them. These are very, very sick individuals. I would freaking I would go maybe even a step further than Nate if I was a dictator and just cancel them all out together.
Boom.
One
Cancel.
and done, you are canceled. No 3 strikes, you're out. One and done, and you are canceled. And I'm talking about lifetime cancellation. And you know, in a lot of countries, you know, when if you get caught stealing, they chop your hand off. If you get caught stealing again, they chop your other hand off. So theft is not a major crime in those areas. If you had something like you are going to be deleted, if you do anything like this, that would probably cut back. And it would not be anything going through like 5 years of court stuff. As soon as the evidence came to light, it's over and done with.
Well, and this is something that Disney's had a problem with for some time now. It's been it was a lot quieter before. It was a lot less prevalent before, but there were the occasional people who are fans of the playground that are going to work near kids because, you know, that's their perversion or whatever you want to call it. A proclivity. You can use a lot of adjectives there, but the bigger problem is it's just not managed by Disney very well. The people are not properly screened. If you're going to be near any guests, you should certainly be screened in a way that's a psychological screening that should be able to identify these things. This particular case is extraordinary because this person came out of a correctional officer's location prior to this, working as a night person. He's not going to be in close proximity to kids. And as the article points out, I'm not sure who wrote that, probably Chris, but one of the guys over at Bleeding Fool did a good job there. Kind of breaking this down, and the fact that yes, they are largely on camera. In fact, we've seen some very bad behavior, even between adultish type of people behind the scenes and things like that within Disney grounds. None of that should be tolerated, but the current administration that's been running the company, especially for the last 12 to 15 years, has really let all of that stuff go sideways, including, and again, it's all contributory. When you relax appearance standards and things like that, you're allowing a different class of people to work for your company, et cetera, et cetera. And instead of, reverting back to the mean, that was successful, that kept them aligned with their family brand, they've exacerbated this problem. Florida is one of those states that all of those sheriffs are very aggressive in these stings. And the fact that you're having 2 or 4 per year that are each time bringing in Disney employees, you got some real problems. I mean, the bus driver thing was, something that was happening on the regular, and some of them didn't work for Disney directly. They worked for Mears Transportation, but that's another conversation. But now you have actual employees within that are regularly being arrested, not to mention the fact that there was rumored to be an executive that was also implicated in some very questionable behavior not very long ago. This is a real problem, and it's not just here in the States. It's, as Nate pointed out, it's also in Europe. It's also all across this country. But I to be surprised? No, I'm not. it's a regular occurrence. The fact is, because Florida has sunshine laws, is the only reason we know just how bad it is. And you cannot, I mean, California's trying to figure out a way to excuse it.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Andre, you got anything further to add? I mean, it's obviously a pretty somber topic. You being a father and all, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I mean, it's completely disgusting. But here's the thing. For the last few years, Disney hasn't exactly marketed themselves as being family friendly, have they? And this includes in their hiring practices. I mean, they have gone so deep on the messaging and the inclusion aspect, even in the hiring, that they're going to hire people that aren't too concerned with family values, because that's far down the list of their priorities. Also, it's obviously a cultural issue within the corporation. Like all of this that comes from the top. The top is what decides what kind of people you staff the company with later down. And what you have in Disney, you have a bunch of activists. I mean, one of the company's big problems isn't just the senior management. It isn't just Bob Iger and the C-suite. It's all the activists at every single level. Among the activists, these are not good people. They may think themselves good people, but you're going to have some proper weirdos in there. People that shouldn't be near anything that is supposed to be family oriented. You have an environment where you're going to attract. I'm not going to say that obviously every single person there has those preferences, but you are going to attract more people with those preferences to the kind of environment that Disney has created through its corporate policies than you would to other corporations.
Yeah,
I will say that. So is it surprising in this sense? No. And it's also not surprising that you have it in Euro Disney, because it's the exact same policies that apply there. Like, for instance, when you have like hiring practice that say, oh, we encourage people of how the hell do I put this in a way that doesn't target your stream even more? We confirm or we encourage people who don't abide by usual ways of categorizing people into, like, you know, the kind of like people that are capable of having babies together. When you encourage people that goes beyond that kind of thing, right?
No,
You're going to get some predators in there.
And
they do that across the board. That is as true in France as it is in the US and everywhere else. When you go out of your way to be so extremely diverse, you're going to get some very, very good people of the kind you are looking for, and you're going to get some rotten apples in there that you absolutely do not want. And this is a corporate decision that they've made.
No. And all those weirdo activists now, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, are now saying that these kind of people should not be villainized, because just like the alphabet community, they were born this way. They were born this way of being attracted to people below, way below their age limit. And this is the constant goalpost moving that these weirdos constantly do, and they're constantly trying to justify and make social changes to make their sick weirdo behavior normal. And I, for one, will never say that it's normal, because it's not.
No, it's absolutely not. Absolutely not. We will probably have to shuffle on from this topic now, because I don't want to linger too much on it, simply for the YouTube overlords.
I bet we're demonetized now.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually haven't checked. I will check now, to be fair.
Before Tom even gets here. That has to be a new record.
No, we are demonetized, just as an FYI. So.
Oh, okay. So it's not Tom's fault this time.
No.